Welcome to part 2. This is Eric the Conqueror. On Facebook.com/Eric the Conqueror or YouTube.com/user/thesandman047. Anyways, I just remembered a peculiar point that I wanted to make earlier. Does anybody remember the show Recess? Now, for whatever reason, Recess popped in my head the other day and began thinking about it. And to me, Recess explains the current world's affairs 100%. Like 100%. And the reason for this being is that you have, like, within the whole Recess and whatever, you have all these different cults and, like, different people. And to me, the kindergartners are the indigenous peoples of the world, like, the natives. And, like, they're kind of being assimilated. They're very untrustworthy. They're very untrusting of other people who come in, and they still at the roots. They still take naps. They still yell and scream, and they still they still have all these primal instincts and stuff. And then as you go on, you have a bunch of other grades and stuff that are slowly more and more assimilated and whatnot. And then you hit the fourth graders. And if I recall correctly, the fourth graders were the main protagonists of the series. You have the 6 kids. You have T.J. Detweiler, a German name. Mikey Bloomberg, also German. Gretchen Grundler, another German. And a Gus Griswold, which is probably German. And anyways, you have then you have 2 minorities, Spinelli and Vince LaSalle. And to me, that represents America. I mean, you have all these German people of German descent running shit, and then you have these 2 minorities as Spinelli was kind of the enforcer, and then Vince was the athlete. And yeah, so you have all these, and we have the German scientist and a relatively neutral, cool guy as a leader, and then there's Mikey and whatnot. And anyways, so that is America right there. So they get shit done, and they're the good guys, and they fight all the battles, and they defend people, and they're generally cool guys, and that those guys represent America. And then you have France, which is if you remember, there's a 5th grader named Lawson, and that would probably be France or the Nazis or whatnot. These guys are no, Lawson's probably not France, because he was like a chicken shit, and he always lost and kind of ran away, I guess. And then you have, I don't know, 6th graders, I guess, and then you have the monarchy, which is in the 7th grade. King Bob is the monarch, and he doesn't really do much. Well, I guess he does what he wants, and he just sits around on a throne and dictates stuff. But you'll notice that when there's a big problem, the 4th graders step up and they get shit done, which is usually what America does. And I don't know, I just thought it was kind of a fun analogy into delving into trying to analyze it and make an analogy out of it and see how Recess pertains to the world. And I don't know, that's just my little 2 cents on it. I like thinking in these creative ways. And another thing I remembered is that anything we do in life is kind of like a recipe, you know what I mean? For example, if you're getting drunk and you wanna have a good clean drunk, you have a base, you have your base alcohol. So you might start off with a beer to it's all chemistry kind of. So it is chemistry actually. You start off with a beer to kind of chill out, and then you introduce your base. So be it scotch or wine or whiskey, whatever you want to use. So you use that, and then you could take a couple shots and to throw into the mixture. And the key is maintaining a good equilibrium of shots and your stuff. So to keep a good thing, is too many shots or too many other variables will inevitably screw you over, and you'll have a bad drunk. I mean, at least that's my take on it. And the same applies to making soup. The same applies to working out and all this shit, because you start your workout, and usually you would ease into it by doing some cardio or something and getting your heart rate up a little bit. Then you would do your main heavy lifts, and then you would accessorize. And sometimes maybe you'll do a couple accessories in between your main compounds. So say you do a row, you might do a dumbbell row or a bicep curl between it before moving on to your pressing. and then you would do like overhead press or bench press, and then you would do dumbbell pullovers or something like that, and then finish with flies. Either way, so you gotta maintain a good mixture of everything. And same applies to cooking. Like, say you're making soup, you have your base flavor, and then you add in extra flavors after that. And if you throw in too many stupid flavors, then it just ends up being like, stupid, of course. And if you throw in something in excess of a very powerful herb, like say cinnamon, you screw up the whole mixture, and it tastes like shit. And the same applies even like to life. You have your base, which is your mission, like, which is what you want to do in the world. Then you have other things that come in, and like, you have to take care of your body, you have to feed yourself, you have to think about the future a little bit. And then, like, if you think about the future too much, then you screw yourself and you forget to live in the now. And if you live in the now too much, then you forget about the future, and then that screws you over too. And it's a good mixture, it's a good balance of things. And that kind of reminds me of the yin and yang. And like, I don't know, that's my take on things. And I don't even know how I got here. Started with recess and started talking about mixtures and stuff. And I don't know, I think mixtures are cool. I think everything's a chemistry. Everything's a chemistry experiment. I mean, I'm no chemistry major, but I really enjoyed chemistry. It was very fun. And it's fun to see, like, you have your base mixture, and then you add in other things and see what those variables do to the mixture. And the key is adding a little bit at a time, and just because you could add like 0.1 grams of something to a whole kilogram, and that could spark a big, huge reaction. And it's just crazy to me how, like, even in life, you introduce one small variable, and that could change the course of everything. And that actually takes me back to training. A lot of people, they go balls out and they go balls to the walls, and then I forget who was discussing it. I'm pretty sure it was Elliot Hulse. Shout out to Elliot Hulse. I think of him as a mentor, like a virtual mentor, and some of his life lessons are very incredible. And anyways, it was like, if like a lot of people go balls to the walls, and like they start to lose weight, and they decide to diet, exercise, and they go the whole 9 yards right away. When in reality, all they had to do was control their eating, and then once that plateaus, then they could start walking, and then once the walking plateaus, add in something else like yoga, and then once that plateaus, then they can start hitting the gym, and then once that plateaus, they can change something else. You know what I mean? Like, people go balls to the walls, and then exhaust all their resources right at the beginning, and then they have nothing left at the end to finish with. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not. I don't know. It's kind of asinine to me. The whole point of things should be to do as well. I don't want to say do as little as possible to get the most results. But yeah, that's the thing. You want to do. I think it's a trade-off. Like, you want to be able to do the least amount of work for the most amount of results. That's training smart, and that kind of just gets to me. Like, that's cool to me. I like that concept. I mean, it's a little bit of a lazy concept, but not really. You're working your ass off while you're doing what little you're doing, but it will yield good results. And then once those results start to like kind of plateau and pick up, then you introduce a new variable, and that's how with doing that, you will be set for the next 2 years, and you'll be losing weight. Whereas if you do everything all at once, you'll lose a crazy amount of weight for the first 3 months, and then you'll plateau and have nothing left to use. Like, you know what I mean? And the law of diminishing returns screws you then, because then no matter how much extra you add, you don't gain that many extra results. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say, really. Anyways, happy holidays. I hope everybody's enjoying their the tail end of this year, and I wish everybody a great new year. And don't do New Year's resolutions. If you do, stick to them. But if you need to do something, just do it, because most of the time people set New Year's resolutions. Once the thrill of the new year fades away, so does the resolve. And so if you have something to do, don't set a resolution. Just do it. And that's all I want to say. So do it now. Do it now. Start now. Start tomorrow. I'm done. Peace.